So, this is a very somber day for me and my family because 13 years ago there was a massacre at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. 32 people lost their lives. One of them was a friend of my family's, and her sister worked here at Green Spring as a server. It hit all of us here in Virginia. It was a very sad occasion. And every year when April 16 comes around, I feel the pain again, the grief, the loss. I feel for my son, who was a student. He was a senior that year. All those memories come gushing back. So that's why you see the flag flying, the Virginia flag. Should be the United States flag too, in my opinion, but the Virginia flag is flying half-staff to honor those victims and their families who were never, ever the same. And we send, again, our best wishes to their families and eternal memories to the 32 people, among them Leslie. Sorry to begin on a somber note, but I did want to mark that that terrific event, which really happened, I'm looking at the clock, started at 9:30. So, having said that, we're going to change gears and we're going to have a really fun program for you on our Throwback Thursday. I'm your host, Diane Gatsis Havinga, and 13 years ago, believe it or not, we put together a little thing called the Monster Mash. And while we were putting that together, I would go around and shoot snippets of how we got that whole process together. It was a really huge team effort. Of course, we had the residents. We had two people at the time from our public affairs office who actually worked here on campus. One was Jessica McKay. A lot of you remember Jessica. Her brother happens to be our Board of Supervisor chairman now, Jeff, and everyone knows Jeff. He comes here quite often. She was in charge of public relations for Green Spring, and she had an intern who just happened to be my daughter. How about that? She was a senior at George Mason, and she did one of her interns here. And Elizabeth was charged, along with Jessica, to come up with a Halloween sing-along that Erickson and Green Screen could be used to promote. And as most of you know, that went on, and it's still in Cyberland. You can still see Monster Mash, and every year we resurrect it and view it. And one of the highlights of that was it also appeared on the Today Show. So that was kind of a huge event for us. So I want to take you back to March 1st, 2013, when we actually put together the Monster Mash.
Yeah. Or I was going to say we could just cut some of it and...
We might have to.
Here's scissors. Because it doesn't want to look too peaked.
Stick it there.
You know, beforehand we held rehearsals, probably took, 3 hours or so. Setup probably took us 2 or 3 hours as well. And the video, we shot it a morning that was about 4 hours. Skeleton head.
And that Acme ghost one for the side. You can definitely tell as an expert.
This looks kind of cool, but I'm worried.
Here, let me...
Yeah,
Oh,
you do it. Actually, it would probably look neater.
see what he's doing.
You know, if we need more lights, we could probably take these.
Everyone was here around 8 o'clock in the morning at the studio, and the makeup started. It probably took us about an hour and a half to do the makeup, and then we spent, of course, the rest of the 2.5 hours or so filming.
It's over there.
We got some more spider web here to do.
How much do you want?
Oh, that eyeball's in the wrong position. Yeah.
What do you think we should? It's not gonna show up with all the light on.
We get an extension. I think we just gotta fire it up like over here. And I guess we could just spray this stuff in before it's shot.
Yeah.
There's like a breeze going. Do you have an extension cord?
Yeah. Blowing it all that way. The residents are gonna think. You can see it against the backdrop a little easier. Oh, look at that. No, it's not going anywhere, is it?
It's almost like you need a fan.
Blowing it towards there.
Yeah.
And somebody was doing it while
That's what I'm saying. Someone
he's
tracks.
shooting.
But I'm also thinking from a resident's perspective, standing right here, if I'm supposed to be right in the middle dancing,
You can't.
They
almost-
can't
you
see
see.
you can make it like a grainy effect.
We can make it. Put it over there like the cauldron. You know, we have to use it.
Yeah, it looks good with the blue on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Minutes and then go.
How it is like looking at us.
What do we look
If it's
like?
higher, maybe it's not.
You guys are hard to see.
Yeah.
But then again, that final dance number, they're going to be like here.
Yeah.
So you actually still are kind of hard to see. But
Yeah, it's really.
unless we turn the light on back there. Like Marcia used to have that lamp. I wonder where that went.
Well, is there like a fan we can get that kind of?
Blows it the other way. That
That's
might be a
not
good
bad.
idea.
Because I think
But would it
the
then
issue
just
is there's no
concentrate it?
circulation.
And I'm worried about the hearing.
Yeah.
Most of those little fans are
That
kind of
white
loud.
noise. Yeah. It cuts out the frequencies.
Because I think the issue with the fog is there's no circulation.
Yeah, follow that there, going around. And then you might be able to. Who knows?
Why not have the larger people in the back?
Is the issue.
How don't you move the mark, move the
larger
table?
people in the back?
Yes, we don't need them more.
Destroys his
Yeah, let's
picture
just move the
of,
table over.
It doesn't.
the concept.
What it looks like from here as that tableau is not all that important.
The concept.
The frame is going to be moving more or less.
Yeah.
So the way it looks back here isn't really an issue.
I'm just thinking of when they do the dance.
Oh yeah, the dance will be back.
This is the dress rehearsal, kind of, that we had in studio the day before, where we were basically placing each of the actors, making sure that there was room for everybody to dance and to do the choreography, and
Making sure everybody's costume worked and there weren't any difficulties, and we had to make adjustments, and
right, exactly.
just setting up the studio and telling them this is how it's going to be tomorrow when you arrive for makeup.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. There's not a chorus first.
You
There's
end
a
up
verse.
here on chorus 1.
Chorus 1. Okay.
Bingo. Go back to there. Oh.
That way they'll allow a little bit more room.
I'll try and prep you, all right?
Good.
And then verse 3, you got to go around to the 3. This is right?
Yeah.
Okay. After Ernie leaves this mark, you guys can go ahead and fill that in.
Well, we will, because we're doing the grapevine.
When we do the grapevine on the course 1 puts
That'll work out then, because that'll give you a window to get hit.
But this way, so the first time we do it, we'll see like how the movement is, and everyone has enough room, because I know it's tight. So if you remember your roles during the verses, so during the verses, the zombies will have knives, and you'll just be hitting the table, because there'll be all kinds of bloody parts on the table. And the Mr. and Mrs. Frankenstein doing your dance during the verse.
Yes.
The vampires are just, you know, and moving their capes around as they wish
With their teeth in.
with their teeth in. Mr. Parks, you'll be booing to each side. And Mr.
Or
Nemechek,
acting
you can
silly.
sit and you'll be pulling on, you'll have a fake chain there. You can pull on your
You get to
chain.
sit.
And then you
That's
can
what
just
I just
stand.
said. Devil,
He
you
does get to sit. And then he'll stand for the chorus dance. So just come toward him with your monster arms like you're going to take over.
They really got to cram it into a
Surround it.
tight frame.
If you forget the moves will be.
And when you're taping, you all can give instructions because
Right,
you won't be
because you won't
recording
be
your
heard.
audio. So they can yell things at you too.
Right.
Heated diminished. Okay, can we just run through the choruses and just talk the vocals? Because it seemed like sometimes it was getting a little confusing as to what the lyric was. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. He did the mash.
You did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on like a flash.
He did the mash. 2, 3, 4.
And then you can mash.
And then you monster mash.
The monster mash.
And do my graveyard smash.
Then you can mash.
Or we told them to say watermelon.
Yeah, okay.
That's too bad. All right,
Wanna run it?
we'll run through a few more times.
Just standing here.
Full actions or?
Let's do one more. What do you think?
We're going arms left, arms right,
Okay.
shimmy,
Twist.
twist, yeah, twist, clap, swim, turn.
Do you want to dance? I'll yell.
An eerie sight, for my monster plus lad began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash.
Right.
He did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east, the master did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. Now everything's cool, that's a part of the plan.
Right.
And you can monster mash. And do my graveyard smash.
Swim.
You'll get on in a flash.
Monster.
Then you can monster mash.
Cut.
You might be open to under the desk.
Michael Jantz was kind enough to put us in touch with a makeup artist who came the morning of the filming, and she spent probably about an hour to an hour and a half literally putting faces on all 11 characters. Mr. Salt actually had the least makeup on because he was playing a human being, and
Just
everyone
tousled his hair up.
Exactly. Everyone else had, either a vampire, face on. They were a ghost or they were a witch. So they had some pretty in-depth makeup to make them look
Fred,
as they did on screen that day.
Watched our faces
Where you hit
turn
me.
green or white or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, and we also had some wigs to go along with the costumes. So.
And the person who did this was a professional makeup artist, so that it was very well done, and it was fun to see ourselves in these in this makeup.
Blood dripping down your mouth.
Yes,
Something you don't see
false
every
teeth
day.
and all that.
Like my town, with a little drop of poison. Nobody knows they're lining up to go insane. I'm all alone. I smoke my friends down to the filter, but I feel much cleaner after it rains. And she left in the fall, that's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. Did the devil make the world while God was sleeping? You'll never get a wish from a bone. Another wrong goodbye, and 100 sailors. That deep blue sky is my home, and she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. The rat always knows when he's in with weasels. Here you lose a little every day. Well, I remember when a million was a million. They all have ways to make you pay, and she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. And she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. Like my town, with a little drop of poison. Nobody knows they're lining up to go insane. I'm all alone. I smoke my friends down to the filter, but I feel much cleaner after it rains. And she left in the fall, That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. Did the devil make the world while God was sleeping? You'll never get a wish from a bone. Another wrong goodbye, and 100 sailors. That deep blue sky is my home, and she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. When he's in with weasels, here you lose a little every day. Well, I remember when a million was a million. They all have ways to make you pay, and she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. And she left in the fall. That's a picture on the wall. She always had that little drop of poison. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
he did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrode.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
They did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band, and my monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you.
Then you can mash.
Then you can monster mash.
The monster mash.
And do my graveyard smash.
Then you can mash.
You'll catch on in a flash.
Then you can mash.
Then you can monster mash. Mash. Easy here, boy. You impetuous young boy. Mash good.
Monster mash. Monster mash. Monster mash. Monster mash.
I hope you enjoyed that. That was great fun, and it also won one of our many Telly Awards, so how about that? And I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of where all those people are, at least the people who put it together. So, Jessica McKay is out in California. She moved there about a year ago, doing great, just had a birthday, in fact. I occasionally hear from her. She hopes to make it back to Virginia. Eventually, they moved there because her husband had a work location change. Andrew Seegers, many of you remember Andrew. He was the director. Andrew also moved to California. He's outside of LA, is he in San Diego? No, Sacramento. And he's been there for the last 5 years or so, doing great, working for a television station as a maintenance engineer because he got tired of a lot of the traveling he was doing. Anthony Trueheart is in Georgia working in the industry. He was set to move back to Springfield, Virginia when this whole coronavirus hit. So his plan to move back and his new job are on hold. So who knows what's going to happen there. Michael Jantz, many of you remember Michael Jantz. He was with Community Resources, and he was also the entertainment guru here on campus. Michael is still thriving. He's in Maryland. He is now in the food industry. He's a caterer featuring vegan and vegetarian fare. Really great food. If you ever have the opportunity and you want to have someone cater a vegetarian event, contact Michael. And my daughter Elizabeth, she was also the ghost at the beginning. They needed someone to be the ghost, and I thought she pulled off the ghost role quite well. Elizabeth is still in Virginia. Right now she's actually has been called back to work. We'll see what happens. She was thrilled. She got her big check yesterday and her unemployment bonus. So I told her dinner was on her from now on.